The Warlords of Woodmyst. The Woodmyst Chronicles Book 4. Dedication. For Noah, the Warrior. Prologue. White spray exploded over the bow, as the Adalandria raced through the choppy waves of the Western Sea. The intended port was Stronghold, a city on the shore of the Sea of Solace, a body of water set farther inland, accessible by a narrow gorge known as the Graralith Pass. Towering rock walls stood upon either side of the gorge, wide enough for two ships, three in places, to pass. The Graralith Pass route twisted for over 80 miles, and guarded by many forts that sat atop the cliffs along its course. The two largest garrisons, fortified with stone and armed with cannons, sat upon each side of the mouth of the pass where vessels would enter and leave. Captain Jeremy Schernbach, standing in the wheelhouse behind a thick glass windshield, was always in awe whenever he saw the sight. Even with the heavy weather and hard tacking that needed his attention, he took the time to peer through the teeming rain towards the tall cliff with its fortifications standing proudly on top. "The wind is blowing strong from the west, Captain," Karlina, his first mate, called to him from the main deck. Several men, and the other 3 Aurelian women, were busying themselves with their duties as they prepared to enter the passage. "Should we shelter until the storm has passed?" "No," he shouted back. "We make for the pass. We only have 3 days to pick up our next freight, and we still have this load to deliver. If we don't get those supplies for Byview, they'll go to someone else to deliver. We need that haul." "So," Karlina yelled over the wind as she climbed to the quarterdeck, "we won't be habbering for a day or 2 in the Sea of Solace." "We're running just within schedule," he told her as she entered the wheelhouse. He tossed her a towel that hung on the wall behind him. "If we get more weather like this, we could be late. I don't want to give our employers any excuse not to pay full charge." "We leave early then." She toweled her arms dry. "Aye," he replied. Without warning, the fortress atop the left cliff exploded into fire. Debris flew into the air, reminding Jeremy of a black flower spreading its petals. Giant fragments of rock and iron tumbled from on high, trailing smoke and dust in its wake before crashing into Graralith Pass. "By the gods!" Karlina gasped. "What was that?" The men on deck stopped their tasks to view the phenomenon as fire and stone tumbled to the sea. "Perhaps their black powder for the cannons erupted," Jeremy replied, staring with wide eyes at the tragedy. Suddenly, the other fortress, sitting on the cliff top opposite, disintegrated into fire and smoke. "Oh no."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?